I'm shooting coach Mike Dunn, and welcome to How to Shoot a Basketball. Today we are going to talk about stacking. Stacking being, we're trying to stay strong with what we're doing, with our base and with our upper body. Quickly on the base, I've talked about this in the balance video, but if you ever see a player that when they drop down into this stance here and you see their knees go inward, generally, it's a problem with stacking. It's a problem with how they're actually getting to the floor in athletic. Anybody that goes down to this position, as soon as I went to go athletic and my knee, or get athletic and my knees come in, it means that all my energy is going towards my toes already. Stacking from the waist down, if I just sit my butt back, it's really hard to sit my butt back and get my knees to go in. It's almost forced. If anything, my knees are going to go out. So if you see a player that struggles with this, with their knees coming together, really focus on that portion of being able to lead down to the ground with the butt. I tell players to picture or almost imagine they have a bar on their back. If they're squatting, you would never squat forward like this. You're always squatting, leading with your butt, and then letting your knees react to it, right? That's the first part of stacking with our lower half. But what I really want to talk about today is just stacking with our upper half. Stacking with the upper half means developing a really solid base for this ball to sit on so that we can just push through the middle of the basketball. In stack is something like this. I have my elbow, forearm, wrist, and fingers. If I were to flatten out my hand right now, you would see that everything would run in a straight line down. That is being in stack, right? This is out of stack. This out here is out of stack, and obviously going too far inward can be out of stack as well. Now, where this can be a bit tricky is I don't want you to think that your elbow and this, where I'm at here, needs to be directly perpendicular to the floor, okay? It can be out a little bit. What becomes really important is just that the elbow always is underneath the ball in some capacity. So just like when we talked about creating our shot lines, right? Having that ball travel along the path of least resistant, effortless way, bringing that elbow to the middle. That ball was able to touch the middle line, right? We just didn't want it on the other side of the middle line. So if my hand is under the ball here, this way, right? There's still part of this ball that's under the, part of my elbow that's under the ball, and I'm still able to push through, right? That's the big thing. And that comes from a really big position of strength. But if I go too far out and my elbow gets outside, I remove the ball, I'm no longer in position to push through the middle of the ball. And conversely, if I think about elbow in too much, and I go from here and I'm thinking about elbow in, right? Now my elbow's getting out of stack of the ball this way, my hand's in a really compromised position, and it's gonna be really difficult to be able to move through the middle of the basketball. So to fall in line with our shot lines that we create, think about really stacking that shooting arm so that it's stacked from the moment that ball begins here all the way through the entirety of the shot. Keep shooting.